All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Real Talk video. I pray all is well with everybody as we give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and all the praise and worship. I'm so grateful once again because I'm on top of the ground and I'm not under the ground where nobody throwing no dirt on top of me. But even with that being said, being under the ground don't seem so bad right now as being on top of this ground. Some of y'all know why I said it like that, because I'm going back to Job. When Job was at the point where he was just flat out ready to die. How many of us ever felt like Job when you just trying to figure out why your life done took a turn for the worse? Why me? Why am I being punished? I had it going on and now I'm just all the way down to the ground. It seemed like I can't get up. This was an upright man who the Most High in so many ways bragged on. Just a real talk video here, my brothers and sisters. I'm not going to go through all the scriptures because we have already done that on here about Job. But when you think about life is short. Well, let me say it like Job. A man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. Job took a long look at his life. And that's what he came up with. Man born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. Life is just too short. And you think about this. When life gets us down, when it seems like everybody you love, talk to me, Holy Spirit, everybody that you think is on your side turns against you, you feel like you're all alone, and you might even find yourself getting a little mad like Job. But one thing I liked about Job, he never cursed the Most High. Job cursed his birth. Job was mad at what was going on, and Job was searching for answers. He wanted to know why was he being punished the way he was being punished. I haven't sinned against nobody. I haven't been doing this. I prayed over my children. Why am I going through this? You done took my children away. My wife talking to me crazy. My friends, they tripping, they off the chain. Father, I need some answers. I gotta plead my case, is what Job was saying. Man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. In other words, once again, Job was saying life is short. I don't know who I'm talking to in this video, but the Most High laid this heavy in my spirit. My brothers and sisters, it's already hard enough trying to live right without bringing in all this extra mess that we do in our lives. If you bringing in all that extra baggage and luggage, and you're wondering why you're stressed out, you can't sleep at night, you don't have a peace of mind, and you're dealing with stuff that the Most High didn't even put you in, some of us will catch that later. Think about how short life already is. Video kind of heavy. Tomorrow I just got another phone call. I got a few loved ones on their deathbed right now, fighting for their lives. And I thought about how life, this ain't nothing but the Holy Ghost putting this message together, because I thought about how short life is, and then some of us already got the nerve to keep getting drunk, keep getting high, keep living a stupid lifestyle, keep chasing women. Some women keep chasing men, lying, cheating, and stealing, and all this stuff that we bring on ourselves. Then got the nerve to turn around and say, Father, you need to get me out of this. I'm talking to some Christian folks. Life is already hard enough. So since we know the story on Job, let's just make this a real talk video. Job's life took a turn for the worse. But in the long run, look at what Job got back. In Job chapter 12, he had to check them old friends that he had. Y'all catch where I'm going with this? Because some of us, we hanging with the wrong crew. They thought they had all the answers, didn't they? Job told his friends, y'all need to learn something about the Most High. Y'all need to learn who the Creator is and what the Creator is capable of doing. They needed to learn about the Most High. In Job 13, he was still straightening them out, but then Job prays to the Most High. He pleaded his case. He wanted to know, why am I being punished? In other words, Most High, please point out my sins because I'm not understanding why I'm being attacked. But Job was so blameless and such an upright man, Satan had to go get permission just to mess with him. A man who had his house in order, going out there praying over his kids, his children, regardless of what was going on, he prayed. It's so much we can learn on this. But Job felt like the Most High turned his back on him in so many ways. In other words, why do you accuse me of whatever the crimes are? Why are you making me pay for these sins? I can't figure it out. Did I do something when I was young? Look at what his friends told him. Job, you must be sinning. See, sometimes if you listen at your friends long enough, you'll start believing them. Somebody know what I'm talking about. But if you got some friends that's not having a relationship with the Most High, you better leave them alone. So when you get up to 14, the chapter 14, verse 1, he say, man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. He saw his share of trouble. In other words, Job say our time on earth is just like that. The Most High already have our days numbered. Got your birth certificate as well as your death certificate. I wonder what would happen. This is just a thought. But I wonder what would happen if everybody knew when they was going to die. So I'm trying to make us think and wake up in this video because some of us ain't going to never try to straighten up our lives. I'm still talking to some Christians. But what if everybody knew, Brother P.P. Drawings, the day that they was going to die? How many people would try to straighten up right now? How many people, if they knew that they was going to die tomorrow, they'll stop dealing drugs, stop getting drunk, stop whoring around, stop selling dope? What if the homosexual knew that tomorrow they're going to die at 11 o'clock? Uh-oh. Would they try to get their life right? What if the lesbian knew that by the end of tonight that her life would be over? Her girlfriend life would be over. I wonder what would Washington do if everybody in the White House knew they was going to die at the same time. I wonder if the liar, if the cheater, if the thieves, you name it, whatever sin it is, knew that your deadline is tonight. How many would try to straighten up their lives? Job was ready to die. Job was already thinking about going to hell. So I'm about to mess up in this video now. Whoa, JT, wait a minute, now you tripping. See, too many of us done been taught wrong about hell. I guarantee you, if you do some studying and go look up hell, see what I'm talking about is just the grave. Job was ready to go to hell. Sheol, Hades, the common grave as the Hebrew, the Greek calls it. That holding tank. That didn't sound too bad for Job because Job had his spiritual eyes focused on the afterlife, eternal life. See, if we could look at talk to me, Holy Spirit. If we could look at sleeping as Job did, it wouldn't be no such thing as somebody trying to act a fool at a funeral. Climb off in the casket, falling down, talking about take me instead, Lord, and all this old crazy stuff that most black people are doing at these funerals, which is just flat out stupid. If we would look at that the way Job did, Job was ready to go to the grave. And if I got to stop by hell to get to heaven, let me stop by hell. Let me stop by my grave. Notice I'm not talking about the lake of fire. Job was saying the grave don't look too bad right about now. He was thinking about the afterlife. See, the lake of fire was set up for Satan, his crew, the Antichrist, the false prophet, the beast, Whoever want to join up, that's their eternal home right there, the lake of fire. So Job, reviewing his life, said once again, life is just short. Man born of a woman, born of a few days, full of trouble. Notice he said full of trouble, because in this life we have trials and tribulations. And when they come, they hit hard. So once again, I bet we all can say we done felt like Job, but we ain't never been like Job. We ain't never been blameless. We ain't never been upright. I can't say that as a man. I don't fit in that category. The Most High, once again, in so many words, bragged on Job. This is my faithful servant. This is an upright. JT ain't never been upright. And if you've been upright, go ahead and clap your hands. But don't lie to yourself. And what I like about Job, he compares life like a flower that fades away. He compared life like a shadow that just disappeared. So he said our time, once again, on life is short and full of trouble. How many times have you went to a funeral, or you'll read and on the internet or Facebook or somewhere to say something like, gone too soon? And if we would be honest, a lot of these people that's saying they gone too soon or they left too early, half of them wasn't living right in the first place. And if they wasn't gone too soon, they would have took somebody else's life. Because when they was living, they wasn't doing nothing but just full of trouble. Innocent people done got killed. When we look at the big picture on what Job is saying here, how we live a short life and we full of trouble, if we could learn to concentrate on the unseen. Problem with us, Christian folk, I'm going to say Christian folk, I'm not a Christian, somebody catch that later. Problem with too many Christian folk, they keep looking at the scene. I'm a true believer. I don't want to be in the category with Christians. Somebody already know why I say it like that. Everybody I know call themselves a Christian. And calling yourself a Christian does not put you in the kingdom. But I don't knock people that call themselves Christian. I just don't. It's time out for calling yourself a Christian and you still living like an unbeliever. Be a true believer like me. Be a believer in the faith. Live it. Stop just talking about it. Don't you know it's some people who can't wait to get into the new kingdom? And then there's a lot of people committing suicide who can't stand this life. Then you got the ones who too much of a coward to kill themselves, so they'll kill innocent people. This is full of trouble. If you look at America right now, it's evil. It's full of trouble. They done pretty much now legalized everything you could think about that the Bible say don't do, they say do. They trying to make wrong right and make right wrong. That's this NWO. This is the New World Order. So all this trouble, but once again, Job was looking at the condition of man. He was looking at his life. Sometimes we may say, I haven't done nothing wrong. Why me? Sometimes I tell people, why not you? Why not me? I quit saying why me long time ago because I look back over my life, I wasn't all that good. Why not me? I don't even deserve what I got now. I don't even deserve to be here. Truth be told, you don't either. Lady told me the other day, I just don't understand. Why do I have lung cancer? I don't even smoke. I ain't never been a smoker. Why me? Other lady told me, why am I sick and fighting for my life in the hospital? I don't even overeat. I don't do all this stuff. Why is these diseases and sickness coming on my body? I treat people right. I done got laid off. And then the next thing you do, what you start doing? Worrying. Life is full of trouble. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. It don't matter who you are in this life. If you living and breathing and you up in a little bit over age, I ain't gonna say up in age, I'm gonna just put it like this. If you 16, 17 and up, 20 and up, 30 and up, 40 and up, 50 and up, you living, you going through some stuff. I can't even say it like that because there's a lot of the young people going through some stuff we ain't never seen at 13 years old, 14 years old. Times have changed and took a turn for the worse. But ever since the fall in the garden, we are short-lived. Dude told me the other day, JT, we got to blame it on Adam, man. Let me say this, because we always talking about how long they lived back then. Man, they was 940, 930. You know, such and such was 800 and some years old. Y'all know something? It's just something to think about. Even with Adam, according to the Most High, how long did Adam really live? Now, I'm saying that to say this. Adam died when he was 930 years old. Woo, that's a long time to live. 930 years old. Wait a minute before you say, woo. The Most High said one day is just like 1,000 years. One day. So if Adam died at 930, how long did he live? Y'all catch that? Life is short. Did Adam even live a day? If he died at 930 years old, according to the way the Most High counted that. That's why life is short. And the wages of sin is death. The day they messed up, Adam and Eve, he died spiritually first of all, then died physically. Who in the Bible lived to be 1,000 years old? If you find out who lived to be 1,000 years old, and I'm not talking about Yahshua, and I'm not talking about the Most High, and I'm not talking about Melchizedek, or Chezedek, or Melchizedek, however you want to pronounce it. Show me anybody in the Bible that lived 1,000 years. So Job was looking at life, saying that my life is short and I'm constantly having too much trouble in my life. I'm just like a flower that's going to pretty much die. I'm just like a shadow that won't last long. It's going to disappear. I'm ready to go to my grave. It's got to be a little bit better in the afterlife than this. It's got to be way better. Job said, I done lost my children once again. They dead. My wife tripping. She told me to curse the Most High and die. I done lost my good looks. My skin all jacked up. My breath stank. Sores all on my body. I'm just paraphrasing, adding that in right there. But this is how Job felt. My teeth ain't looking right. I'm just all jacked up looking now. I look like some from the X-Files. And my wife looking at me, my friends looking at me, and I don't even know what's going on. I don't feel too good right about now. Have I painted a picture for you a little bit? I went from balling to falling. All my cattle, my crops, man, I done lost everything I worked hard for. But you know what I loved about Job? Job still had hope for his future. Job was just a little frustrated. He wanted to know why, just like we do. Why you take my mama? Why am I burying my little brother? Why is such and such? Why this, why that? But Job never disrespected the Most High. He didn't. He still had hope for his future because he was looking at the unseen, which is what a lot of churches don't even want to talk about. We too busy talking about prosperity on earth, cars and material things, I should say. But Job was looking at the afterlife. Some of us too stuck on this life. Man born of a woman is of a few days. But if you notice how Job talked about that flower, and I'm going to try to wrap this video up. He say, we are just like flowers, my brothers and sisters. And when you think about how beautiful some flowers are, how they smell. But then, them real flowers that's like that, they may only last 3 hours, 4 hours. They bring you flowers in the hospital, or when a loved one die, they get them flowers and take them to the funeral. And in a few hours, them flowers, I gotta say it like I want to say it. And in a few hours, them flowers are gonna be just like the one laying in the casket, dead. What's the moral of that, JT? Make sure y'all give me my flowers while I'm living so I can at least smell them. But after a while, beautiful flowers that's real like that, they fall over. They die. That's how Job was looking at life. Job thought he was just about to die real soon. Life is short. Man born of a woman is of a few days. Job thought about the shadow. He said, we just like that shadow. That shadow, if you ever look at a shadow, it's got that clear-like shape. And if you look back at it, it looks just like it moves just like a real person, don't it? You do this, it do that. You do that, you move that way. You look at your shadow and be like, man, I can't, it's doing what I do. If you really thought about it, you would think your shadow is alive. But what happened to your shadow after a while? In a moment, you can look back, it's gone, it disappeared. Job say, that's how life is. And you think about it, some of us, I ain't say we live in perfect lives, because none of us are perfect, but some of us are really living some beautiful lives, in spite of what's going on. And then some of us are living some old jacked up, stupid lifestyles. Shacking up and sinning and all kind of stuff, and still expecting a blessing from a messing. But even with our beautiful lives, it seems like it just disappears. Just like the shadow. And you know what don't really make sense? It's the ugly people that always outlive the beautiful people. They always left around here longer than the one who had the beautiful spirit. I don't know why. I don't know why God took my aunt such and such. Oh, why did God take grandma such and such? Why did the Lord take my mama? He should have took my daddy instead. I can't stand him. Ain't that how it is? And when I say he leave the ugly ones around, I'm not talking about a physical ugly look. I'm talking about their ways, their heart, their attitude, how ugly they are. They got an ugly, messed up, they got malice in their heart. They just evil. So as I close, my brothers and sisters, life is already short. Let's take inventory on our lives. Let's examine ourselves. As a matter of fact, when you get to the house, get your cell phone. Go to your contacts and delete all them numbers that you know you should have been deleted. And stop waiting on the New Year's resolution to talk about you're going to start deleting people and doing this. Do it now. Because life is short. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around here. But I want to be ready when it's my time to go. You don't know how much longer you're going to be around here. So if you got to do what all you got to do to straighten up your life now, if that means deleting them numbers, if that means moving yourself around from them kinfolks, not answering them, I'm talking about these wicked, evil, reprobated-minded folks that's in our families and jobs and churches and stuff. Leave these people alone. Don't be so quick to say, yeah, I'll help you out with this. Stop hanging around the ones you know you don't need to hang around no more. Now, some of y'all mad at me because, well, JT, that's my, them my church people you talking about. Them the Christians I'm around, man. Life is too short. Don't you go to the lake of fire behind somebody else. The Most High have our birth certificate once again, as well as our death certificate. You got the moment from when you was born, and then when you was till you die. And you got that dash in the middle. What will people say about your dash in the middle? Did you love or did you hate? Was you congratulating folks or was you hating on folks? Did you have a beautiful spirit or did you have an evil spirit? What will they say from 19 such and such to 2000 such and such, or whatever the deadline may be? So y'all, that's my time. Life is short. Don't bring any more mess in your life that you don't need. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day.